Let's get really drunk and do a show.
And that doesn't sound Canadian at all.
Welcome to Makers International, a podcast of makers from 3 countries, 2 continents, and featuring 5 guys separated only by the same language. Here's your host, Richard Morley.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good times, whatever time it is, wherever you're listening. As always, I'm here with Mr. Chris Cute.
Hey, it would help if I unmuted myself. How you doing, Richard?
Mr. Joe Whitaker.
You're right, Tom, yeah.
Our good friend, Alan Robinson.
How are you, fellas?
And the old cocker, Jamie Page.
How you doing?
How's everyone doing this week? I hope everyone's well.
What did you just call it?
Fantastic. Maybe listen to that in the rerun, or Joe can edit that out.
Yeah, beep it out.
Maybe a farm animal could bleep it out like a or something.
Right, so let's do our normal shout outs and thank yous to everyone. First and foremost, we want to send all our best wishes to Mr. Sterling Davis for his full recovery. Actually, I don't know if anyone saw this. He did a vlog last Saturday, just explaining about him getting better, and he got a few things going on, and he was hoping to be back up and running as always in the new year. So just sending him my best wishes, and obviously best wishes from you guys as well.
Definitely.
Yep.
So over on Facebook, we've got Sarah Connor from Wartooth Designs, Dale Forsyth, Wacky Woodworks, Mark Christopher, Richard Clark, and then people over on our YouTube channel, Wacky Woodworks, Temple Boy Turnings, Sharp Edge Woodworking, Ragtie, Simon Hopkins, Jim Dockrell, Steve over at Wooden Stuff, Rudyard Kipling, Robert Evans, McLeod Duncan, or is that Duncan McLeod and I've written that the wrong way around? Who knows? Let us know. Know what mum knows. Bob Rawson over at Plastering Crafts, KSFWG, Make Crazy Days got a special mention. SoundCloud was Azales. He's been commenting a lot. And then finally, a very extra special thank you just for you, Ian Hay. He'll know why it's extra special. But obviously, another thank you, and this is even more special, Jason McGinn. A big thank you to you, sir.
What did I do?
You commented on one of our videos, and we're saying thank you, and I was hoping you'd say, well, that's very good.
You're very welcome. I think next time I'll just be on your show instead. It'll help.
Probably make it a lot easier. Yeah, let's just get everyone on. That might be even more confusing than me just trying to read a huge long list. So that's basically taken up the hour. I'm glad everyone was here and listening, so thank you for joining us for the week. No, just kidding. What's everyone up to this week, or what's everyone been up to? Jamie?
What am I up to? Well, I've been in the workshop today, and I made a pen out of some pencils. I basically glued up a couple of pen blanks out of a pack of basically dollar store pencils, colouring pencils. So yeah, that's what I've made. Yeah, I'll post it on my Instagram, and it kind of lit up. So
That turned, it looks like you're using the ends of the pencils there. So I would assume you can get multiple pen blanks out of one pencil glue up.
But basically what I've done is, if you get the pencil long ways, and I glued it all up, because obviously I don't know why you can see it. With the hexagon ones, you have to make sure that they're kind of glued up perfectly along the line of each other. So then when they glue the next one together, it kind of sits in its own little seat, if you like. So then you get it, so it makes a blank, if you like. And then what I did was I kind of cut it into little cubes and then turned it sideways, so that way that the ends of the pens would be on the side.
Are you going to put a video together for that?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could do it first. I've had a couple of people ask me if I could do like a tutorial. So I was like, yeah, why not? Yeah, I'm definitely going to put a little tutorial of how I did it together.
The ironic thing about pen turning is about 2% of it is turning, and the rest of it is all doing the prep and the blanks and that, isn't it? It's it's a long, drawn-out process for quite a quick.
I mean, with super glue I was using, it kind of like I was peeling 100 onions at once. It's kind of, I was lucky I had a respirator on, but my eyes were going
Oh.
you know.
How about you, Alan? Because you spend pretty much the whole weekend in the workshop, don't you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been out here all weekend, and for the first time in I don't know how long, I did not film the project.
What?
I know. My YouTube channel is finally making money, and let me tell you how. Somebody saw my cast iron bench restore video and somehow figured out that I live close by them and contacted me through email and asked me to restore this big 6-foot bench for them. Basically, same thing as my other video. I tore everything right down and have been working on that nearly all weekend, but I kept the cameras out. I already have that video done, and I could give it my full attention this way as well. And I got to tell you, there's a different feel woodworking on video and off video, and that's not something I really ever realized. I always just put a camera on anyway, no matter what I'm doing, because I'm obsessed with filming, but I actually really liked it. I could really just immerse myself in the woodworking part and not have to worry about what the camera lens is looking at half the time.
I bet it went a lot quicker too, didn't it?
It did, yes, and it looks better. I'm a little bit better of a woodworker than I thought I was, because it is absolutely perfect. There is not one small defect on this entire project.
And that was a client job, was it?
Yes, it was just some local lady who just happened to saw the video, and she must have watched some other videos. There's a lot of videos of me driving around the area here, and it is pretty distinctive. If you live around here, you can tell immediately that it is Stratford. So she just figured it out. So I thought that was freaking awesome.
It's amazing how, our channels can be such, not just powerful tools to learn from and for other people to learn from, but to actually advertise as well. That's quite it's quite a scary prospect in some respects, I guess, but nice. I'm glad things have worked out well for you, and obviously, hopefully, a little bit more profit than the old AdSense.
A penny or two more, yeah.
What about you, Chris? Have you been working hard in the shop?
I've been, yeah, kind of, sort of. Tomorrow I've got a video coming out, and by the way, I would be disrespectful if I didn't say that. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving here in the United States, so I want to say I wish my fellow Americans a very happy Thanksgiving. Eat a ton of turkey, drink way too much, and have a great nap on the couch for me, because that's exactly what I plan on doing. Enjoy your families, everybody. But tomorrow, because let me ask you guys a question. When you are, and maybe Alan would answer this because he does a lot of filming, he's into film work, and you always hear people tell you, just, get out in the shop, turn the camera on if you're wondering how to do something. And I've never done that. I always purposefully shot every aspect of every one of my videos. But this week I turned the camera on and just turned it on and started doing some things that I wanted to do that I knew I wanted to do a video on. But I just kind of I was looking to see if I could do kind of an abstract video, and I let the camera roll. And I don't mind telling you, everything went to hell in a handbasket in a real hurry. And so I've got a very short video coming out tomorrow that is, I think you'll find rather humorous, because I ended up just giving up and leaving the shop at the end of the video because it went so bad. And so I think the title of the video is going to be something like one of those days, because I had one of those days in the shop, if you know what I mean by that. So yeah, that's going to be my next project, and I can't even say I worked on that because it just kind of happened. So I don't know. It's going to be what's coming out tomorrow. So there you go. That's what I've been doing.
It's kind of cool that you went down that route, because I think that, there is always that temptation when the camera's on and something goes wrong. You're like, okay, there, we'll cut that out, or we won't air that video or whatever. But to just put it out anyway, I think kudos to you there for that.
Well, it's going to be short, but it was just one of those things where one thing compounded the next. Anyway, it'll be out tomorrow. You can see it then. It's you can at least laugh at me anyway. Keep your chin. No, as if you don't already. As if you don't.
I'll just say this: at least there's coffee, Chris.
Thanks, Jason. Jason has seen the video, by the way, so he knows what he's talking about.
Right. Well, I probably won't watch it until about Easter anyway, as you know. So we'll see what.
Because you love me so much, you want to support me.
What about Joe? What are you up to, Joe?
Literally, my week has consisted of editing. The gifts that I spoke about in the last couple of podcasts, I finally got them sent over to the States and they received them, and luckily they really liked them, so I've been editing those videos. I'm hoping to get the first one out on Wednesday. That's the video that's kind of kicking me in the behind at the minute, because I'm not quite sure on the flow that I want to go with it, but it's turning out not too bad. But yeah, so I haven't even been in the shed this week, I'm ashamed to say.
Say in front of the computer. People forget about the amount of time you end up not working, but sitting in front of a computer, just doing all the editing and all that backroom stuff. So yeah, I feel for you there, buddy. But I've had a pretty busy week so far. I spent about 4 days clearing out an old loft in a big Victorian house, and it was absolutely bogging up there, and just stuff. You know, it's like in your attic or your loft. There's just stuff everywhere. It's filthy and all the rest of it. And put a new floor down and got it all ready so the guy could put like a model railway up there. And once I'd finished that, I then managed to get one video out, which I'm pretty chuffed with. Can't even remember what the video was now. It's out and published anyway. And another one edited, ready to air. And I've just started another build and halfway through the editing for that as well. So I'm trying to get them stacked up and working. So I think all of us have been pretty busy, as always. So I think it's probably time. We've already heard from him in the background occasionally here and there. Introduce our guest for this week, Mr. Jason McGinn. How are you, Jason? What have you been up to?
Fantastic. I've been pretty busy. Yard work mostly. I got 4 to 5 cords of wood in the basement. Chop, split, stack. Also, actually, I got a new attachment. It's not, I bought it, so it's not like a plug or anything. A cuts-all for my angle grinder, and I'm making bowls, and just rough cut bowls, and they turn out pretty cool and pretty nice and pretty fast. So I'm digging that.
You do quite a bit of processing your own material, don't you, with milling logs, chainsaws, and stuff like that? Is that right? Am I barking up the wrong tree?
No, oh wait, no. I put ads out actually. I actively seek down trees, and I'll pick them though. I cherry pick them. So there's one a couple of years ago. It was a 200-year-old elm, and the branches of the tree were like 3 feet in diameter. Wow. And I have them now, and I'm still milling it down, because I only have a 16-inch chainsaw, so I'm working with what I got, and it takes a good amount of time to cut through one log and then mill it into some usable lumber.
But you've already made some pretty nice stuff out of that elm, though.
Yeah, I've been making bowls and cups and mugs and whatever else out of the. And now I'll be making little dishes and things with those cuts-alls, because that's fun.
No, but cuts-all that's a tool you would use to, like, if you were for instance, let's say you were into chair making, and Joe, maybe he can jump in with this. That would be something that you would use to carve out like the butt portion of the chair seat in order for it to conform to somebody's rear end. That kind of helps. Is that the tool you're talking about?
Yeah, it's actually people like Joe using those things on videos. Like, got me going, cool, I want to try one of those someday. And then now I'm working, so I can. But I'm not carving out seats because I'm not there yet. So I'll just stick with the bowls for now. That's where these cuts-alls would come in place. It's like an angle grinder attachment. It has all these little carbide teeth on it, and they're just like little spikes, and you can get it medium or coarse or fine. And it basically just chugs away my floor, my wood shop is covered in dust.
It just hogs out the material, right?
Yeah, in like 20 minutes I can hog out a bowl, and then to sand that down and finish it in another 20 minutes, and I got a little dish.
Would you use a flat disc or something like that in the angle grinder to kind of tidy it up?
Actually, it's clean enough where I go right from it to sanding.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hand sanding.
Yes, well, actually, I've been cheating a little bit. I've got an attachment on my drill now, and I got a flat disc, and I can sand it down to where get all the little grooves out that I might have missed, because it is a practice to get it nice and smooth. So then from that point, then I just hand sand it. Yeah.
Joe, have you used one of those yet, or have you not gone into that yet?
Yeah, that's what I actually use to carve the seat. It's like Jason was saying, it's all like little spikes on a regular disc, and like you were saying, in no time at all you can really clear out the material. But I'm literally using just the coarse disc, and it's left with quite a rough surface, so I still need to get like a cabinet scraper on and my orbital sander on it, so it's not quite at the finishing stage. But yeah, so they're really great tools though.
Yeah, and I have the medium, and I have an opposite problem where, like, I'm digging my bowls out or my plates out, but I'm going to wear that thing out a lot faster if I don't get a coarse one, to get the bulk out and then do a nice finish.
Well, I was just going to go in a totally different direction here because, I mean, I know Jason pretty well. For anybody who doesn't know, I mean, Jason and I talk a lot. And maybe Alan can jump in with this too, because throughout the times that I've spent with Jason talking to him, the amount of really quality stuff that you Canadians can find on the side of the road just freaking makes me mad. And maybe what you like doing like your own milling of your own wood. Maybe a lot of people aren't aware. You have a real dirty money or trash to cash Jimmy DiResta television show type aspect to the making that you do, because you find so much. And do you find the kind of stuff that Jason finds on this side of the road to where you can just kind of go grab it? I mean, I know you did one video where you picked up a pallet and threw it in the back of your car, which was pretty funny, by the way. But I didn't know if you had the kind of material that Jason has and Jason, I'll let you get into it in a second, but I'm wondering if Alan, do you do a lot of kind of scrounging to get materials, or are they that readily available in your area?
I don't actively put out ads or anything like Jason does, but as far as pallets go, they are literally everywhere. Like I said, I don't even go looking for them. If I happen to drive down an industrial road, owners of factories around here and smaller companies up these industrial roads, they'll just take them out and throw them at the end of their drive because they know people like me are going to come along and just take them. So they're up for grabs. They're everywhere.
But Jason, the stuff that you find, talk to me about that, because I mean, you and I have had these conversations, and you've got a real kind of, like I said, kind of a trash to cash or dirty money aspect to the things that you find. Like Jimmy used to do the television show. He'd just pick this trash up off the streets of New York City, and he'd make stuff out of it. And you do the same thing in your area in Canada. And Jason lives in New Brunswick, by the way. So, fill us in on what kind of stuff that you find, and what have you made out of it in the past that we probably don't even know that you were using things that you just picked up off the side of the road.
Yeah, well, actually, it's funny you mentioned that trash to cash, because that show actually made it worse for me, and by worse I mean better. I found just this year I found a barbecue, like brand new almost. You know how usually it's the elements that go on it first. Well, those weren't even rusted yet. It was the actual frame that just had one missing spot, and they just had to weld it together or tape it together, whatever. Also like couches, and I find steel a lot, like steel panel. I found it, but I don't just go regular garbages either. I find industrial garbages in places where they're not locked and they're open, so that it's, if we get busted. And half the time I'll actually just go ask them. But like door manufacturers, window manufacturers, people that produce a lot of product and use a lot of material to do things. I mean, in a door plant, I found a big chunk of cherry because they made a cherry door, and it was a cutoff, so they didn't need it anymore. Or half my wood shop is trash.
You found a barbecue, because my barbecue, I forgot all about that. About 2 years ago, I found a barbecue on the side of the road, and it had been gutted, but all I had to do, I already had a propane tank for my old one, of course, and all I had to do was go and buy a burner for it, and I was good to go. So it was like $200-300 barbecue. It looked perfect, and it still works great to this day. It's
amazing. As long as you're willing to do that. And that's what I meant by cash to trash got me worse, is because now I see things, I'm like, I'd leave a leather couch on the side of the road now. That leather couch is getting stripped.
Yeah.
How do you sort of, control yourself? How do you manage? You see something like, oh yeah, I'll have that, and I'll have that, and by the time where you've got a room full of stuff. Do you see something that you have got like an idea of what it might be, or do you just go leather couch, leather, I'll have it? Well,
yes and yes. Because I'll look at a couch and like now I'll look at a couch before and I wouldn't take it because it's too big. But now that I've seen the show and I have the thought in my head that I can cut the material off. Well, that doesn't take a lot of room, so I'm going to take that unless I really don't need it. But yeah, managing all that crap takes some knowing, kind of getting used to it. So, there's still some things I'll take it from the trash and then I end up throwing it in the garbage. Because then I realize after I don't really need it. There's not really any use for it. But when I see something on the side of the road, I'm like, oh my God, I could use that for this, or this kind of project, or this kind of scenario. So I always have like a drill or a screwdriver set in my car. And I take things like hinges all the time. So people throw cabinets out, those little cabinet hinges, those are worth like $10 a piece. And so when I need hinges or little parts or gaskets or things like that, I find I have them on hand because I've found them in the garbage and they're small enough to store. And then it's just a matter of people like Jay Bates and AVE is a lot of people who have those, they use like plastic containers, see-through containers, and they write on them.
Yeah.
I started doing that because it's brilliant, because you can see inside all the junk and you can categorize it. So you can lay it on a shelf and really manage your junk.
Is this how you met Matt Brander then?
Yeah, he was out in the garbage, and I was like, oh, that looks useful. I could use that maybe. So I brought that home and I threw him out because every time I bought a bottle of Crown Royal, it disappeared. And I was like, yeah, ever since I got that Matt Brander.
Yeah, I was just curious how how you two guys met and how the Maritime Makers got started and things like that.
Well, actually, I mean, we met as kids. We grew up in the same neighborhood, and so we've always had like the same kind of group of friends. And so we've been friends back and forth, like, hang out for a while and then not hang out because we just do whatever and then come back and hang out. And then we get older, and we were just doing target practice. Like I had this house, and downstairs I had pellet guns in the basement, and we set up a little shooting range. I don't know if that was the safest thing, but whatever. I can still see. And anyway, and from that we built targets and different things, and then we started just hanging out, and then we found there were like Brian Gidney did a show back then, Summers Woodworking. I think he still does it. And anyway, so we get on that all the time. We started meeting people in the community, and we started. It was mostly just we wanted to hang out with people more and more. And so that Brian Gidney at the time, Summers Woodworking, I guess, kept canceling and not canceling, and we were like, well, we just want to hang out every weekend or more often, and we don't want to have to go through all this rigmarole. So we're like, well, why don't we just make our own show? And that's what we did. At first, it was the Drunken Wood Talk.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was like one of your first episodes. Wasn't it? You guys could title it the Drunken Wood Talk or something?
Yeah, we can only take that for like 2 weeks, though, because I was like, okay, let's get really drunk and do a show.
And that doesn't sound Canadian at all.
But we couldn't keep up with it.
But you managed to get Molson no, wait a minute. But you managed to get Molson as a sponsor.
Yes, we got a couple beer companies. As a joke, we had a couple of beer companies to sponsor us, and it's funny.
Oh, man.
Matt would just call up the company at the beer store and be like, would you guys like to sponsor us? We're this show on the internet, and we interview these people with this many subscribers and have all this. Oh, here, take all this beer. We'll drink it on the show, no problem.
Your production costs must have been enormous to go through that much beer, but obviously if they're giving it to you, then that creates a saving.
Yes and no.
You've had like you started talking about knowing Matt from when you were younger. You've had quite a varied professional life, haven't you? As I understand it, you've done a few things over the years, not just like the internet and whatnot.
Yeah, IT. I started when I was 13, on computers and learning the Windows operating system and command lines and stuff like that. And I was just like a interested geek in finding out how things worked. Like when I was sitting at a computer when I was little, I'd always be picturing like what I'm sending on the internet right now. I'm on IRC or whatever. How that goes from my computer through all the little friggin' rolls to the wire out to the other person and then back. And then I wanted to learn that whole communication string and how that whole process worked. And it brought me down a really long rabbit hole. So I've ended up doing network administration for a lot of corporate networks, like managing those networks. I've also done business analyst type things where I'm, because in learning all that stuff, you learn there's a lot of information flow. And so to handle that, I naturally learned databasing, and I love database and programming. So that's led me all down this whole path to now I'm actually a programmer, from network administrator to programmer. I'm not really sure how that happened, but
do you find what you've learned along the way? I mean, obviously, doing a YouTube channel is not administering a network or anything like that, but all the things that you have to learn along the line to know around your job, has that helped you in terms of doing your channel and doing the internet side of what you do, or is it completely different?
I mean, I guess it's given me insight, because I've learned over years like thousands of programs, and when you learn computer programs and everything in computers are structured in a logical framework, so they always work under a certain kind of way. And so applications are the same way. You learn enough applications, you start to see a common string across all of them. Now I can learn an application like way faster than somebody who doesn't know applications. Does that make sense? So, like learning Hangouts and the on-air stuff and all that, it was just a matter of looking at it, figuring out what to do and doing it.
Because obviously you helped us out massively setting up for the Halloween live show. Obviously, circumstances conspired against us and you weren't able to physically be there at the time, but you pretty much did all the back end work with Chris to start with, which obviously we're grateful for and thank you. But I just wondered, because obviously, computers aren't just computers, but like you say, there's like a logical flow and things move on from one thing to another. I wondered if that had, given you a sort of a step up, as it were, when you're running your channel and all that sort of stuff.
I wouldn't say. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, the only reason I brought that application thing up was because, learning video editing. Well, I learned photo editing, and I've learned but not like hardcore. Like, I'm not like Jamie. It'd take me like 2 hours to do a simple little fun, mend somebody's face onto something. It'd probably take me a long time to learn it and figure it out. But I don't know. I don't think it gave me any type of advantage, honestly, other than I'll say one thing it gave me an advantage too is meeting people. And I love that. Because that's why I like helping people with things. If it's not going to take too much out of my time and I just got to kind of, point them in a direction or something, I don't mind doing that.
The first person I met in the woodworking community was you. I've always accredited you for bringing me into the community. Not too much longer after I got into it. But it got me to thinking, like, I know you just spoke about Brander and starting the Maritime Makers and all of that, but when did you come into the community, and who did you come into the community with, and everything like that?
Well, with Matt Brander and I doing that, but also at the same time, we were hanging out on Hangouts with Nick Ferry, Jay Bates, and that whole group. Now they have a new thing.
YouTube Woodworkers, I think.
YouTube Woodworkers. Yeah. Which is cool. Group Woodworkers. I'm not sure exactly what they do, but they basically promote, their ring of things. And so that, and met Izzy, and it's been a string of basically the Hangouts and just hanging out at night. Steve Carmichael. I don't know, a lot of those guys. I could probably name people for a good hour.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Short, Peter Brown. You've been around for a while. How long have you actually been on YouTube, Jason?
Back in my day, it was 2014 when I started. It's weird. It doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it seems like a lot of things have happened.
And that's really fast in sort of that internet side, don't they? Going back to 2.5 years ago, the way things have just exploded.
Oh, and Joe Whitaker was another one I knew back then. Sorry, Joe.
Skulking in the background.
Yeah.
I presume that the woodworking side is predominantly your hobby. Do you actually get any source of income from the things that you make, or do you just make it for the fun of it?
I have a balance with income. It's proven to make money and have a direction in that way as an extra. But it's and that's in general, like making videos or making products for people or solutions to things. But I generally pick those ones up I was doing it for a while because I didn't have a job. But now that I have a job and I'm back in my flow of things. Like I took a break for a bit. I don't have the time to make stuff. I'd rather use the time that I have now. Like right now, I won't be selling stuff for I don't know how long. I would rather use that time to make something like a bowl or a plate or a dish or something that I can give to somebody that matters to me, as opposed to sell it for a couple bucks and then it never exists anymore.
So you're doing it more now as a pure hobby. You know,
Alan hit a key at the start there. When you turn that camera off, there's a whole different feeling. And that I literally, that's why sometimes I don't have a video for 3 months, but I'll make a bunch of crap because I'm trying new things and I'm not really, I don't want to have my camera on and try and figure out what I'm doing, and all those other things. I just kind of want to focus in and feel what it is that I'm doing and really, because that's what it is. It's a hobby to me, but I'll make money on the side. And I really enjoy figuring out like the engineering and production side of things. So like a mass production of something, there's a difference between making 50 of something and 1 of something. And I like that challenge of just figuring that out.
Well, you've taken your because I'm going to ask you something because I don't think anybody on the panel knows about that. And the only reason why I know about this is because you told me about it. But you've taken kind of your background in not only your computer work and things of that nature, but also your experience since 2014 in YouTube. And you have an idea that I want to see if I can get you to talk about a little bit. You have an idea about a show called Intentional Mistakes. You want to talk about that?
Well, it's actually, I'm going to call it Precise Mistakes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically, I've been on this like, I keep having ideas of what I want to do with things, and then I wish-wash back and forth. So really, when it comes down to it, I'm just going to do whatever I do. But yeah, I'm going to have a show, and I want to. The original concept is to start of the month. I have a month flow of things because YouTube looks for a weekly return on things, and I do want to kind of keep up with a pace. But I got to be realistic with my time because I have to prioritize things like my household, my family, and my job way over YouTube. It comes last. It has to every time.
Right.
Definitely. In fact, sometimes I need personal time, and so YouTube still takes a backseat to that. Once a month, I want to like say I learn a cuts-all, and I'm playing with this, or I know it and I just make one, and that's my build video. Well, then the next week I talk about the mistakes and stuff I made and just a little bit of insight into the project after finishing it and reflecting on it and all that fun stuff. Because usually I find there's more to say about things, and those are some of the things when I was learning that I really wanted to know. And then the next week would be Precise Mistakes, which if it was, say, the angle grinder or the bandsaw or a specific skill or whatever, I would find somebody like we were talking about earlier. I've met a lot of people on here, and I'm getting to know quite a few very, very talented people. And why not have them on to explain to people how they would do things? Because I mean, I use this thing and I'm just using it to make it the results of what I'm looking for. I don't know if I'm doing it right or if there's a better way or those things.
So, but Precise Mistakes, the show, is that going to be along the lines of what kind of like the Maritime Makers show was, where you'd actually have guests and go live on YouTube, or what's your thinking?
Well, and that's what I meant by wishy-washy. It will be, but it won't be. Like sometimes I might just have an hour show because I was thinking like, it'd be cool to have, I want to show my CNC machine. So I have an hour on it. I could run it, and then for the hour that it's running, screen share and have a camera, so I'm communicating with my audience, and I'm showing them how I did the design, while it's cutting. Because I mean, the cutting, you hit a button and it goes. So there's your entertainment, and then here's how I did the whole thing, kind of thing. So the odd show I was thinking I might have to have on my own, or maybe have somebody else on it that's a CNC expert or something, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's I have loose answers because I just, if I feel
you've
like
got a loose
something.
agenda. You apparently got, hey, it's got to come last. But hey, you've got great ideas. That would be something fun to watch because you could actually, if I knew you were going to do a show like that, like once a month, then I know that I could probably tune in and learn something.
Is that a series you want to put on your main channel or a second channel based on your first channel?
Well, it won't be a series. It'll just be like, because I mean, like some months I'd have a two build videos and no show. You know.
Yeah.
Like you were complaining, not complaining. Sorry, that's the wrong word. But on your rambling.
I was rambling
about how all of a sudden there's no time, and you're like, damn, like I thought I could do this, and I can't. I really want to, but I can't. Like I have more important things to take care of, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. My family, obviously, 100% comes. It wasn't even a decision. YouTube is always last. As much as I love it, it's definitely last.
Exactly, and I don't know how those things are going to pan out month to month or week to week or day to day sometimes. So I leave everything up in the air. Here's everything that I'm capable of and what I'm going to do. And stay tuned. Next week, I might just be shoveling my driveway.
Well, and I know you got a lot going on. I mean, look, I'm still holding out that this woman comes to her senses, but you're planning on getting married in February. So, I mean, I think that Genevieve, if you're listening, I'm still, my bet is still on you. I'm holding out hope. I know it's a long shot at this point, but you're looking to get married in February sometime, aren't you?
Yeah, well, it's one of the skill sets I've built up over time is to know when I'm lucky. Before she changes her
At least
mind.
he's honest.
You better be quick.
Before she changes her mind, or I run out of booze to keep her drunk.
I think she's the lucky one.
I highly doubt that.
Is she into making stuff, or does she just kind of get it and understand?
She does sewing, quilting, and
Right.
Her family had a business when she was growing up, and she was in charge of the decorating and organizing all that into things. Like our wedding is super cheap because she's organizing like all the design, and she's awesome at it. Like goes to the dollar store and can like set up she set up her friend's wedding for, I think it was like $500, and it was really nicely decorated. All the seats and everything had little decorations on them, and the tables all had their little centerpieces and everything, right? But she takes like 5 different things off the dollar store shelf, combines them together, and it looks like an expensive.
Making is making. It's all it's all the same thing. Am I mistaken, or did you not propose on your YouTube channel?
I did.
I did go back in your videos, and I remember seeing that. I'm hoping it was
yes, so I released the video.
That was my first thought. Was like, well, I wonder if he would have released this if she would have said no.
Coming back to not letting her change her mind, right? I just had to. I was like, it's on video, and
you got a record now.
I'm just freaked out that Alan researched that and went back and looked.
I did no research. I did no more research for Jason than I did for our last guest. I am a genuine fan. I just happened to see it.
But I got stuck. I got actually hung up watching I think it was about 18 and a half minutes of your shop tour.
Oh, holy crap! I forgot I did that.
Yeah, that was. I really enjoyed that one. But no, the reason I sort of started questioning you about your other half, and does she get it? My other half is a big knitter and crocheter, and although she's not interested in woodworking per se or making things out of wood and metal, the mindset is there. She just understands that when you're thinking about something, whether it's the pallet you found or the barbecue or something like that, she can't have a conversation with you there and then. But equally, I'm assuming that when she's thinking about her next project or whatever it is, you get it. You just, there's that personality just seems to mesh.
Absolutely, yeah.
You get that?
I'm like, in the background, like, I totally get it. I have free time. No,
you go, so I'll go.
Her process, yeah. She'll sit and stare at patterns and things for a while, and she'll ask me off questions too about like, just what do you think of this, and I'll be like, why even ask me? You're just getting a general idea, and you're still going to make your own choice. She's like, yeah,
but no doubt you do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, we have that same process in figuring things out, and I run things by her too. I'll do little drawings, and I'll be like, does that look nice? Because, like I said, she's good with design and application like that. So I really put a lot of how I make things look pretty. I run them by her.
I totally get that. I think on that front, you and I, exactly the same, definitely.
Having been married for the amount of years I've been married, Jason, that is the best call you will ever make.
And sometimes I'll disagree with her, and I find myself out in the shop for another week. You know, I know sometimes I'll disagree with her though, and I'll do it anyway. I'll be like, you know what? Generally, your ideas are spot on, so I'll try it anyway. So I'll try it, and then lo and behold, she was right.
I've done that. No, honey, we're doing it this way, and I'm determined. That's the way it's going to happen. I'm the man of the house, and I go ahead and do it. And I go, she was right. She was right. God dang it, she was right.
I think last year it was, would you like another cutting board, dear?
I was waiting for them to be mentioned.
I was thinking it, but I didn't say it.
As long as you didn't give her my number, I'm good with that. That's all right.
But it's all worth it because you get that extra shop time.
Exactly. But it's not good in the winter when I got to sleep out in the shop. But other than that, it's great.
So other than obviously your other half being a good thing that's happened to you, what other good things have happened to you doing, you know, what you do with, you know, your channel and the projects that you've made and the experiences that you've gained from kind of playing with this, that and the other, and what things have gone well and obviously badly as well?
I'm going to give a big hug plug right now. And I honestly didn't expect it, and I didn't expect it so much that I actually almost didn't get it. I was at 1,500 subscribers. I get this email, and it's like, you want this free machine? And I'm like, whatever, and I delete it. I didn't think anything of it. I just deleted it because I'm so used to spam, and people just like, something's free, there's a gimmick. There's you know. And anyway, about a month later, I got another email, and it was reply, and then the same topic. And I said, oh, you know what? I'll just read through this and see. Anyway, this is company Inventables asking me if I wanted a free CNC machine, and we'll send it to you, no problem. You just, you know, go pick it out. So like, oh, I heard about this. Oh my, oopsie. Sorry. I stood up. I was using the washroom and yelled, ah, I get it. Anyway, so I go on the webpage, I fill it all out, and lo and behold, a CNC machine shows up at my door about 2.5 months later. And oh, I love that thing. That is like, it's really cool. Like, I don't use it a lot, but it's really cool in the design and application, and again, in just the precision and things and the doors it opens that you can, like, mostly what I use it for is templates. I'll print something off so it's exactly, or I'll use it as a flush trim template, or, you know, like something like that. Because I still find that, you know, if I can trace my drawing around on it and cut it out with the bandsaw and everything, that's a lot faster than using the CNC machine.
Those things are right up your alley too. I mean, they're completely computerized, but they're money making machines. Am I right?
Yeah, if you want to use them that way.
I mean, you can just set it to make a project and turn around and walk, you know, and make a sign, you know, for people's cottages, things like that.
Yeah, like I take the time to design. Actually, I did it a while ago, but I'm going to be printing them real soon. Is crib boards, and now that I have the design down, it's a matter of, you know, copy paste, and I can put print two off at once if I want on the same piece of wood, or like.
And those cribbage boards are beautiful, and and that CNC makes them precise, and it's not a hard project. Apparently, once you get the design down, it's like click go. As long as the wood is pretty, then you've got a great freaking project. And
hey, if I wanted to if I want to be really serious about making money with that, you know, you could hire somebody to run your CNC machine all day and print these things off, and like pay them, like, you know, whatever, something minimum that would work for everybody. Well. Maybe it's under the table, so you can.
Sounds like you thought about it.
Hope the government isn't listening right now. Okay.
Well, if they are, I was just joking.
Because let's face it, no one's going to want to work for you anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Where's Matt been icing him in a while? I was wondering if you got him running your CNC machine.
I got him chained down in the basement running that thing 24/7. I let him throw him a beer once in a while. It keeps him going.
I have a hard time seeing the big old bearded guy down in your shop chained to anything. I just don't think that's going to happen.
The way that fella is, he'd chew right through that chain in about 20 minutes.
You know, I really am loathed to cut this short because it feels like we've only been chatting for like 10 minutes. One thing I really want to ask you, that was obviously the best thing that's happened to you. What's been your biggest snafu, worst thing that's happened? Something that you think, oh, I just want to put that to bed and never think of it ever again. Obviously, you're not allowed to say coming on the show.
Yeah, that's the top one, but I was going to avoid
You're
that.
not allowed to mention my name either.
Yeah, let's just leave all that out.
But the worst thing I think is, but it's
Besides the
also
money.
it's also turned out to be it's a real. I mean, everything's good. Everything to me is. I know that sounds kind of, think of everything positive. But I know things are hateful or whatever. But there's always good from stuff, and one of the things is like comments. It used to really get at me. People like they just say like your sound sucks. And it's like, dude, I took like 6 hours editing it, and one little spot in my video, it hurt your precious little ear, and you're complaining because I didn't do it just right for you. It's like, who do you think you are? Like, I just made a free video, and I'm not asking for anything for it. If it's constructive, I'm happy. I'm happy as heck. But anyway, those used to get at me really bad, and I've learned over time, which is the good part of it, how to respond to those and let it just kind of deflect off my shoulder and just not really care about it, like really not care about it. And just either people are complete jerks, then I don't ban them, kick them or anything. I reply exactly how I would if they were in my face. If they said something to me and I'm like, like one guy said something not long ago and I was like, well, if you're constructive, I could get where you're coming from, but you're not. And he kept, you got your panties in a knot or something. I forget exactly the wording. And I was like, by the end of it, I tried to explain to him how I don't really care. Like, if you're not going to be constructive, I don't care what you're saying. It doesn't matter to me. I care about the people who are actually interested in what I'm doing and the people who want to communicate and not just bash and sit on their seat and not do things, but complain about how I do them.
Right.
Being constructive, it benefits all. It benefits you, it benefits the person, it benefits anyone reading it. But when it gets to the point where it's not constructive, it's not worth the time to type it, I think. So I was kind of hoping that was where you were going to go with that. And it was
no, I still type it. I'll still respond.
No, I mean, the original. So if I said to you on one of your videos, this video sucks, I hate it, that's not constructive. So it's a waste of my time writing it. It's just, I might as well not have written it. So
yeah, and I'll probably point that out to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this guy actually argued with me when I pointed that out, and so I was like, he was like, oh, you obviously care. You wrote back, and I was like, I'm sorry, I must use too many words. Then I don't give a oopsie.
Let me break this down.
I'm sure
to simple words.
and I get a good chuckle out of it in the end, and it doesn't bother me. So that's so it's a bad from a good, I guess.
All right, so go and review a couple of our last episodes to ask this next question. Now, I've also had to edit it a little bit, as you're a proud Canadian. Boxers, briefs, or thongs?
Or thongs. The or thongs has crept in there, Jamie. How did that happen?
Because he's Canadian.
What day of the week? What day of the week?
Monday through Friday, then weekends.
Oh, boxers. Then I'm with Joe.
God love you for remembering to ask that question.
I need the airflow down there.
Yeah.
And,
oh my God. Oh,
Exactly. I'm with you.
I disagree. My boys need a home. You need something tight there.
Well, I'll tell you. Actually, I wear in-betweens. They're in-betweeners.
Oh, Richard, save us from this.
In between.
I don't think I can.
I won't wear the boxers with the opening in the front. That's just annoying.
That's there for a reason, I think.
Unless you've been on a really long drive, and Anyway, right. I think we need to, dare I say it, put this to bed. It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
Oh,
right. Well, as I said before, Jason, it's been awesome. You coming on the show. Thanks for basically wasting an hour of your life joining us. But hopefully hopefully you've enjoyed it as much as the rest of us.
It was a pleasure, actually. If you don't mind, if I say something,
Well, it depends what it is.
it's about each one of you guys. For Alan, honestly, Alan, your energy, and let's see here, your energy makes me realize a lot more what I want to bring into my videos that way. And I don't even know if you noticed that, but as we met, and the more videos you're putting out with like your personality, just like jumping out there and just having fun and doing that stuff, that actually inspires me to do that more, and I like that. So I just want to point that out to you.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Joe, you just humbled the hell out of me, and I love your work. You do great work. Very, like, the freaking Maloof chair. Maloof. Come on. You do great work, man, and you humble me. Like, you really do, especially listening to your interview and hearing you talk, and just seriously, that's inspiration for me to get at least halfway there to where you're at.
Thank you, Jason.
Chris, we have great conversations all the time, been friends for a long time, and I really appreciate those. I see you as a mentor and a friend, and just to let you know, I really do appreciate that.
I appreciate it, Jason. Thank you. I'd rather you just send me beer, though, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, okay. So then can I tell you the truth right now? If I send you beer?
No.
This, Mr. Richard Morley. I didn't have anything to say about you. Sorry. Yeah, I love your elegant and clean style. I do. And that's what attracts me to your channel. That's what brought me on you in the first place before I even knew you as a person.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm worried that I'm lost.
And Jamie Page. Oh my God.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's say I started with witty and funny. But really, actually, I do enjoy watching your scroll work and your lathe work. And your pen right there is a perfect example of the things you try and the way you just kind of flex your abilities and try and explore new things.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
Along
Jason.
with all
I
your
appreciate
reviews.
that. Oh, yeah. And all the pictures, yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate, guys, you bringing me on, and I really appreciate you guys using your time to interview me.
Well, I'd say it was great, and really, really humbling and nice things that you've said about all of us. You obviously watch our channels, so what have you been watching other than us lately? I'll ask you first.
Well, Jay Bates just made a really nice chessboard, and it's funny because I haven't seen any of his stuff come up on my list lately, and he just happened to come up. Because it's been hard for me keeping up with my subscriptions. I've been so busy. But anyway, he made a really nice chess set, and he's made really cool stuff since I'm plugging him from his apartment back to when he only had a single apartment. He was working in 2x4 construction. That's when I started watching him. And, he's brought that from there to a 2-car garage he uses nice hardwoods and really elegant, great craftsman. I really enjoy watching his stuff. So, but his chessboard.
Good stuff. I mean, that came up in my feed. I haven't watched it yet, and I was kind of hoping you weren't going to spoil it and go into details there. But because I'm looking forward to watching that one, I totally agree. He's come a massive distance from 2x4s to what he does now. Jamie, what are you watching at the moment, my friend?
I'm watching a YouTube channel called Mancrafting. It's a guy named Chad. He basically does powder coating, but he basically shows you how to do it from your home. He obviously uses a powder coating gun and things like that, but he uses a small booth, like a smoker oven, I suppose, if you like, or a normal kitchen oven. So yeah, it's quite an interesting procedure. He powder coats. I think they're cooler cups mainly. I think they're called Yetis. Is that it? In the States. I think they hold cold drinks or something like that. But he shows you different kinds of tips and tricks and how to do things and all sorts like that. So yeah, and he powder coats all sorts. I mean, the first video I watched, he was powder coating a brick. So
that's really interesting. I always take anything that needs powder coating. I find an industrial estate and someone will do it for you, but I didn't realise. It never even occurred to me you could do it. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
What about you, Alan? What are you watching at the minute?
I just found a new channel. It's been around a while, and I'm surprised I haven't noticed it. But have you guys heard of Timothy Charles?
No, I haven't.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have him. He's awesome.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic. But go check out his video. I want to say from about a week ago, called "From Log to Mallet." I mean, his process for making mallets he made 4 mallets from one giant log. But other than that, what I found funny about that video, you guys know me, I'm always looking for the comedy too. But what I found funny was, and he makes no mention of it, his entire floor is made of sawdust and chips. And I don't mean like he found a clever way to make floorboards with resin and wood chips. It literally looks like he hasn't swept his floor in about 10 years. And I just thought it looked really funny. Just go check out the video.
Yeah, Tim's put out some really cool stuff over the years, and you might be able to enlighten or steer me if I'm going in the wrong direction here, Jason. But isn't he or wasn't he a fireman?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I seem to remember he used to take like a fold-away workbench into work with him and be doing woodworking in the firehouse, like whilst he was at work at one point. I think I might be getting this wrong or getting confused, but
I haven't seen those videos, but he's 100% a firefighter.
Yeah, it's a really nice guy. Joe, what are you going to plug this week, or who are you going to plug this week?
Well, I haven't been spending much time on YouTube this week, so my plug is actually a Facebook page, and it's Hammer Time Woodworks and stuff. And recently, he actually put up these crosses that have got an LED backlighting, and he carves out the centre of the backing cross. And then he's got actually purchase cross that are all different designs, some are metallic looking and stuff like that. But then with the LED lighting behind them, it just shows them off perfectly. And he's made them as gifts for his dad and a few of his friends as well. But on his Facebook page, he's got a ton of brilliant projects on there. It's well worth checking out. That's Hammer Time Woodworks and stuff. Facebook.
I actually caught that. That does look really cool. Or those look really
excellent. Cool. And Chris, can you top that?
I don't think I can top it, but I'll plug a guy who probably doesn't even need a plug. I don't know if you guys watch the channel AVE. And since we have a Canadian on tonight as our guest, Jason, I figured I'd promote a fellow Canadian at AVE. Because I gotta just say, the guy just freaking cracks me up. He's not a kid-friendly dude, and if you're offended by words, then you probably don't want to check out AVE. But the guy puts out videos. Half the time, I don't know what he's talking about, but he just cracks me up. AVE. If you haven't checked out the channel yet, check it out.
Yeah. I watched his episode where he was over in Ireland, and I was crying with laughter all the way through it.
That guy is funny. I'm telling you, he's funny.
You learn a ton about the difference in prices of, say, why a drill A is more expensive than drill B, and is it actually worth it? And he goes into like how the plastic's made up, how the motors and everything, all the components are built, and why they're good and not good. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, he's a smart guy. He just has a real character about him. It's just,
he's funny along the way.
He's funny along the way. It's just fun to watch his videos. So if you don't know who AVE is, get out from under your rock and go find him and go watch his videos. You'll love him. That is, if you're not offended by rather strong language every now and then. Anyway, that's who I've been watching, Richard.
Cool. Well, I think I can top all of those, actually. And I've plugged this guy before on my own channel when I've done videos promoting smaller channels. But I think you'll like this, Joe, because there's a guy out there, Chris Fisher. He's the blind wood turner you might or may not have heard of.
I know him.
He's a really nice guy. I've chatted to him via email a couple of times for various things. And he recently turned a breeze block on the lathe and made some little vases and used some ebonizing spray and some various bits and pieces. But when you look at what this guy turns, he makes some absolutely amazing things, and then you just think the guy's blind. He can't see what he's turning like we can see. It's absolutely amazing, and so big props to Chris for doing what he does. So I'm going to give him another plug because he genuinely deserves that. But
do you mind just a quick insert? It kind of just brings back from last week's episode there, talking to Joe about like inspiration of things, and that's one of those things, like you don't have vision and you're still on a lathe, you're still trying to figure out how you can make things and build things. Not giving up, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah, it's
Right on.
incredible.
Yeah.
Watching him do it, he just does everything by touch. So, all right, that's got to be that long, and he kind of like that's like 2 fingers long, and right there you go. From there, bang, done. It's just incredible.
It's amazing.
Just
and he records it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good time to wrap this all up now. So, where can we and everyone individually be found? We're Facebook at Makers International, Twitter Makers International. I think we're Makers International everywhere, aren't we? On
Yeah,
YouTube as well.
Yeah.
That's the bit. Jason, time to plug yourself, mate.
You can find me at McGinn's Woodshop on Facebook or on YouTube, or you just go to my webpage, MCGINN.
What about Jamie?
You can
Just
find
plug
me
yourself.
on. Yeah, you can find me. You can find me on YouTube at JP Woodwork and Twitter and Instagram at JP_Woodwork.
Excellent. Joe, what about you, mate?
Easy enough, Average Joe's Joinery everywhere. So quick Google search, Average Joe's Joinery.
Except Instagram, where you're Average Joe's Photography.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me that one.
Alan, what about you?
The Woodworking Junkie, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Chris?
Chris Cute on YouTube. Make the first cut on Facebook.
Excellent. Well, I've been Rick Morley. You can find me at brainfizz.uk and under my name on YouTube. I've had a rather bizarre time, but it's been great fun. Thanks for joining us, Jason. So I'll say cheerio.
Cheerio, mate.
Have a good week, everybody.
See you next week.
See you later.
Have a week.